Thank you, Attorney General Holder, for coming. Is the National Security Advisor part of the White House in your view?
Every time I see him, that's where he is.
Okay. Have you read Tom Rick's review of Mr. Sanger's book?
No, I haven't.
About the Iranian program and about the kill list and the other things that we're talking about. He says, and throughout Mr. Sanger clearly has enjoyed great access to senior White House officials, most notably to Thomas Donilon, the National Security Advisor. Mr. Donilon, in effect, is the hero of the book, as well as the commentator of record on events. I don't know what Mr. Donilon did, but according to this review and from my reading of excerpts of the book, somebody at the highest level of the government has been talking about programs that I think are incredibly sensitive. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious do you consider these leaks?
I think they are extremely serious.
Would it be 10, 9, 8, 7?
I'm not sure what a 10 would be, but I'd put them up there.
Yeah, I can't imagine, well, if there's something worse, I'd hate to see it. So my point is that I think our concern on this side of the aisle is that there are clearly people around the president leaking stories that involve highly classified information. And here's the concern we have. You've got one program called Fast and Furious that's been an embarrassment to the administration. And it's been like pulling teeth to get information about Fast and Furious, who knew what and when. And when you have programs on the national security front that seem to show the president as a strong leader, you can read about it in the paper. So my concern, I think, is a lot of us believe if there was ever a need for an outside special counsel, it is now. What do you say?
Well, as I said, the two people who I've appointed to look into these matters are first-rate prosecutors who will do, I think, a great job. And as we look at the history of what U.S. attorneys who have been appointed in these kinds of cases, I think we can feel a great deal of comfort.
Let's look at the history of, do you believe it was a good thing to have a special counsel in the Valerie Plame case?
Sure.
And one of the reasons it was a good thing is that the chief of staff of the vice president wound up being prosecuted. And I can't think of someone closer to the White House than that person. Do you think it was a good thing to have a special counsel in the Jack Abramoff case?
Well, again, we're talking about special counsels here, and we can get hung up on terms.
I mean, do you think it was a good thing for the country to have a special counsel appointed in the Jack Abramoff case?
Well, let me go back to the Plame case first, so my words are not misunderstood.
Sorry.
The Plame case involved a person who was a United States attorney, the same thing that I have done here. That was the person who got that designation. And these people are now appointed as regular U.S. attorneys because it is possible that some of these acts occurred in their districts. If, however, we have proof that things happened outside their districts, I can appoint them under Section 515 as special counsels.
You're fighting the very concept that Senator Obama wrote a letter to the Bush administration. Vice President Biden was on TV morning, noon, and night urging the Bush administration to appoint a special counsel in the Valerie Plame case, the CIA torture tapes case. Senator Obama wrote a letter to the White House, signed with a bunch of his Democratic colleagues, urging Attorney General Gonzalez to appoint a special counsel in the Jack Abramoff case because of extraordinary circumstances, the access this man enjoyed. And as a result of this investigation, some high-ranking Republicans wound up being compromised or, in fact, going to jail. So my point is that the political intrigue around Valerie Plame and Jack Abramoff is no greater than it is here. We're talking about people surrounding the president and the national security apparatus at the highest levels, and you're resisting doing what Senator Obama and Senator Biden suggested was in the public interest. Why?
Well, I, as Attorney General, am seized with the responsibility of looking at allegations controversies and making the decision on the basis of what I think is best for a successful investigation and potential
Mr.
prosecution.
Attorney General, and I hate to interrupt, you know I like you. We have, I hope, a good relationship. But you're being subpoenaed. I mean, you may be held in contempt by the House. 39 Democrats have asked for more information. I'm just suggesting, given your problems in the House and the political intrigue that is around this case, and given past behavior of Senator Obama and Senator Biden, who are now President and Vice President, you would be doing the country a great service to appoint someone new that we all could buy into. I'm sure these people are fine folks, but quite frankly, I am very disturbed about the inability to get information regarding programs that are embarrassing, and the tendency of this administration to tell the whole world about things that are good. So I just think you would be doing the country a great service if you followed the advice and counsel of Senator Biden and Senator Obama.
I think what is most instructive is to follow that which we have done in the past and that which has worked. And if you look at the way—
Did Valerie Plame and Abram Hoff investigations work?
Well, certainly the Plame investigation worked. But again, we're talking about—
What's the downside of a special counsel? Somebody new other than these two people that all of us could buy into.
But Senator, I mean, I think you're missing something here.
I think you're missing something here. I think you're missing the fact that this is a very big deal, and you're handling it in a way that creates suspicions where they should not be. And all I'm asking for is for you to find a lawyer in this country that all of us could say, virtually all of us could say, that is the right person to do this job, rather than you picking two people and telling us about how great they are. I don't know these people are Madam's house cat. There are a lot of lawyers in this country I do know that would follow the evidence wherever it leads and wherever it takes the country. And I'm asking you, for your legacy and for the good of the country, to reconsider your decision and appoint somebody that all of us have confidence in. And I'm asking no more of you than Senator Obama and Senator Biden ask in investigations that I think are no worse than this.
I do know these people, and they are good lawyers, they are tough prosecutors, and they are cut out of the mold of
Pat. The answer is you're not going to change your mind.
And they are cut out of the mold of Pat Fitzgerald, who, again, what you're missing here in terms of that special counsel, whatever the title you want to give, was a sitting U.S. attorney. Nothing was done differently than what I have done with regard to these people. The same thing.
Mr. Attorney General, what you're missing is the biggest double standard in recent times, that the very people who are in charge of a White House that I believe has compromised national security unlike any time in recent memory, when they were in this body with investigations no worse, I think could not be considered any worse than this, were advocating to the Bush administration, appoint somebody new, appoint a special prosecutor that we could all have confidence in, and suggested that the Bush administration was trying to conceal and protect themselves by not doing what they were urging. And here the shoe is on the other foot, and you're not willing to embrace the idea that it would be better off for the country if you would pick somebody that we all could buy into from the get-go, rather than picking somebody, two people that you say are great, that I don't know anything about. So at the end of the day, I can't believe that this is even a debate, given the national security implications of these leaks.
Well, I would say to my friend, and I didn't let him go way over his time so he could get his—
Not nearly as much as my other colleagues.
His speech in, but I would note that with the time of that request for a special counsel, that was after, as I recall, Attorney General Gonzalez had testified that he really considered himself part of the president's staff and not an independent attorney general, unlike Attorney General McCasey, who appointed a federal prosecutor to investigate the firing of U.S. attorneys, another to investigate the destruction of CIA.
If I may respond, Mr. Chairman, there's no doubt in my mind that if the shoe were on the other foot, you and everybody on that side would be screaming to high heaven to appoint a special prosecutor that all of us could buy into.
Well,
now, given the record of the way you behaved,
my problem was
colleagues, Obama and Biden when they were senators, this cries out for corrective action.
Well, and I've seen the the talking points that the Republican candidates have, and you've probably used them better than anybody else. I'll yield to
well, how about
yield
this?
to Senator Durbin.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just correct the record here. The Abramoff case was handled by the Public Integrity Section of the United States Department of Justice. The Plame case was handled by a sitting U.S. attorney.
Specially appointed with powers and protections outside the system that we're all concerned about. You have a chance here to lead the country in a new direction, follow past precedent, and the fact that you're not going to do this disturbs all of us up here on our side of the aisle.